Welcome to 123 Minimize with Jody and Linnea, the podcast where we discuss easy minimalism for busy moms. Whether you're a new mom in need of practical decluttering tips or an experienced parent seeking simplified routines, you've come to the right place. I'm Jody, wife and full-time working mom of 4. In 2017, I founded the Minimalist Mom Facebook group, now with over 270,000 members. My passion is creating a simple, healthy, and happy home where my family can thrive.
I'm Linnea, a homeschooling mom of 4. In 2021, my family and I sold our house, downsized to a 36-foot travel trailer RV, and embraced minimalism. Living with less has been liberating, and I'm thrilled to share tips and experiences to help you simplify your life. Whether you're sitting down, getting stuff done, or lacing up your walking shoes, welcome to the 123 Minimize podcast.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about minimalism and your finances. So 3 common top New Year's resolutions are your finances, your health, and your home. Last week, we talked about your home. So this week, we're going to talk about your finances. So maybe we spent a little bit too much around the holidays.
Yep.
Maybe our credit cards have a high balance. Or we used up all of our cash. It's pretty common for people to have a New Year's resolution of getting their finances in order. The problem is that they say 80% of people fail with their New Year's resolutions.
Yep.
So in order to make great progress, it's important to be consistent. So right away, I just want to mention that we have a quick start guide on our website, 123minimize.com. In the quick start guide, we have like 6 main tips of how to get started. One of them is stop buying non-consumable things for a period of time. So reducing spending really exercises your not spending muscle, your self-control with finances.
Yep.
And especially coming off a part of the year where it's our giving time of the year.
Right.
And so spending usually does increase because we're just giving to people we love. So being able to stop that is a little bit hard because once you're in that mode, it's common to just keep going in that mode. So setting a time, and it could be like one day a week where you don't spend money.
Right.
It could be a month where you don't spend anything that's not food.
Right.
Or gas, right? You don't buy anything that's not food or gas. So sometimes people are like, we're not going to eat out for a while or buy coffee out of the house. Anything to start working that muscle of self-control really will help bring your finances in order.
Right.
So one thing that's helped my family is my husband and I sit down at the beginning of the year and we write out our goals for the year. Financial goals specifically.
Right.
So previous year's goals have been to max out our Roth IRA, which, when you're raising 4 kids, that's a little bit harder than it sounds sometimes. Also, a goal has been to put some money in educational accounts for our kids. And then we have other goals always, like maybe paying off something or paying our mortgage a few months ahead, or maybe a trip that we want to take, like budgeting for a trip and to make family memories. So whatever it is, other years ago, it was paying off credit card debt, paying off our furnace, paying off a car. We try to set a goal, and what I honestly do is I type it up and I put it on the wall, and it's right there in my face all the time.
Like a vision board?
Like a vision board, right?
Yeah.
And so I can go, okay, am I sticking to kind of, where am I? Because a big part of failing at resolutions, I think, is not having it in your face.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so you kind of like, what am I doing? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But for us, the financial goals are usually larger. Maybe it's replacing a vehicle. And so then you think, okay, I need this much money, because we try not to have loans on our vehicles. And so let's say you have to save up maybe $20,000, which is, of course, a used vehicle right now. And then you think if you divide that by 12, it's a substantial amount of money that you're putting away every month.
Right.
But if you don't make that goal, you're really probably not going to make progress. And you're going to either end up with a vehicle that's breaking down or an auto loan.
Yeah.
And with interest rates like they are right now, I'd prefer not to do an auto loan.
Yeah.
But, for other people, that's fine and they're okay with it. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
We used to be in a lot of debt, and it did take a lot of effort to pay it off. And we just, for our own family, we don't want to go down that path if we don't have to.
Right. I agree. Same for us. And I love what you said about the posting it out so you can see it, like a vision board. I think that's hugely important, especially like early February when you're starting to kind of forget,
Yeah.
why did it matter to me?
Yeah.
What was the goal even?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's uncomfortable or it is hard because maybe you're giving up something else to be able to
Yeah.
achieve that goal. And you need to have that in front of you so that you can remind yourself every day why it's important to you, why you made that goal in the first place, and to guide the decisions that you make.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise you are just going to default to what you want to do in that moment and not the end result that you actually really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I love vision boards. I love putting visuals to it. It's so fun. Like if you're saving for a vacation, you put a picture of where you want to go up there. And you could even go as far as to, like, if it has people in it, print out your family photo and cut out your faces and paste those on so you can see yourself in that place.
Yeah.
I've done that before, and it's so motivating to be able to envision that. So maybe if it is a car, like you said, put the car that you're hoping that you'll be able to get and put it on there. And
what would you say is like your percentage of time that your vision is realized from the board?
Well, my boards have some long-term things, some mid-term, and some short-term.
Yeah.
And so some of the dreams I've had that have come true from my vision board definitely took a couple of years.
Okay.
So I have had some very significant ones, like full-time RVing. That was on our board, I think, for 5 years.
Yeah.
And now we've been living it for 2 years.
Yeah.
So that was one that came. But, some of those just have to take time till it's the right time, or you're ready, or you have saved up the money that you want, or whatever. And there's been some other ones, like a fiddle group that I found that I really wanted to be in, and I had to learn a brand new instrument that I'd never played before, and that one also took a while because it took time for me to learn and take lessons. And so but I do have shorter ones that are usually like financial goals that I will focus on for the year.
Yeah. So
percentage, maybe 20% per year, but some of those are multi-year goals.
Right.
So, but, I always view a goal as the purpose of the goal or the vision is to start pointing yourself in that direction of life.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's more about the journey to get there, not so much the end result.
Yeah.
So if you never set a goal, then you won't even get anywhere. Right?
Right.
But let's say you set a goal to save $20,000 for a car. Maybe you get half of the way there.
Yeah.
But would you have gotten there if you didn't put that on your vision board? You didn't set that goal.
Right.
If you didn't set out to
Probably
do that.
Not.
Right. So instead of looking at it as like a failed or missed goal, look at what's the difference. Like I could have had 0, but now I've got 10,000.
Right.
Right. So the purpose of the vision board is just to steer you into making the choices that will start you on that path to that goal.
Yeah. One thing I did years ago, probably 14, 15 years ago, was we were desperately trying to get out of debt. We had a lot of student loans, car loan. I can't even remember everything, but it was a bunch of high interest stuff too.
Yeah.
And I did something like I created clutter in order to help myself want to remove the clutter. And it really worked, right? Because it was like 2 goals. So I did like the paper loops, where you cut strips of paper and then you tape them, make a loop, and like you would do in preschool or something, right? And I strung it up on my wall. Okay. And so then every time I paid off a certain dollar amount, I took 1 loop off.
Nice.
So it was this like nagging mess on my wall as decor. Yeah, I put it in my bedroom. So I wasn't like having the whole everybody involved in my personal finances, but it was up for years. I even moved it to a different house at one point. But it really was motivating because every time I was like, oh, I could buy that. I'm like, but I could remove a loop.
Wow.
I want that gone. And I've heard of people doing that like with other types of goals. Maybe it's a fitness goal or something. But they put like as stones and move it from one jar to the other. And to me, you're not really getting rid of anything. Like I wanted something I could take down and ceremoniously throw away.
Yeah.
Not like a new jar of clutter. And so that really kept me focused. And we, at that time, did not have like great income. And so really getting that debt paid off was hard.
Yeah.
Like I had to be creative, pick up extra work. My husband worked extra hours. Like we had to really hustle for it. And it was good because we consistently made progress over years. So it wasn't anything extreme where we did anything like never saw each other, but it was consistent progress where we didn't forget about it.
Wow.
We also learned so much to help us not get back into debt.
Right.
Because that's the thing, right? If it's too quick, sometimes it's easy to go right back.
Sure. You didn't really learn a lesson.
Yeah. There wasn't consistent habits created.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay if things take time.
Yep.
It really helps us to not boomerang back in the other direction.
Yes. And that totally applies with minimalism.
Yeah. Go slow.
If you're starting on a new journey, maybe you're like gangbusters and you just want to get through your whole house in the month of January.
Yeah.
Maybe you can.
Yeah.
But if you don't also create habits that you practice every day or every week, your house is just going to fill back up and you're just going to...
By June, you'll be back and you'll say, it's easy to say minimalism didn't work for me.
Right.
Or anything, any habit we want to do.
Yep.
I do that. I've done that where I'm like, oh, that was too hard. And but then I'm like, am I realistic about that I gave it a really good go?
Right.
Or did I just like weightlifting? Talk about that. Go to the gym. I'm lifting weights that are too hard. I'm super sore and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Well, did I go slow? Did I get advice? Did I surround myself with people that know about the topic? Probably not.
Right.
So I'm not really going to say, I gave exercise a try and now I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think being realistic and setting small goals and like just doing a little bit here and there and start to exercise that minimalism muscle.
Right. Right. Well, and that's why I like what you were saying about the challenge that we have, the free challenge, where we guide you through your whole house. If that day is overwhelming to you when you look at it, the assignment for that day, just to find 10 minutes and work on that. I love that because then you're not getting that fatigue. You can just create a sustainable habit.
Right. We also have a minimalism spending habits guide on our website, 123minimize.com. You can download that and put it somewhere where you can see it, or, you can save it as a background to your phone or something where you're going to look at it when you're shopping. But it has some things to consider. 3 steps. So the first step is use what you have, make it without buying anything, or borrow it from a friend. And so let's say you need something and maybe step 1 takes care of your need.
Right.
So you just need to borrow something or whatever. Step 2 is buy used from the Facebook Marketplace or a thrift store. Or there's so many other websites as well that have used stuff. So that usually is a little less expensive. And so I would say that's step number 2. Step number 3 is buy new. But remember that everything you buy has to be maintained, which will take more of your future time and money. So an example of that is a paint sprayer. Like we were painting the basement and we bought a paint sprayer at one point. The maintenance on that, you can't just like use it and then set it off. You have to clean it and take care of it, read the instruction manual, and then you have to store it. And so we ended up selling it on a Facebook Marketplace, and somebody got a good deal. A contractor got a good deal on a paint sprayer. But I realized that maybe it's something we should have rented because we would have cut out all the effort that we put into selling it, maintaining it. Right. It was something that we did need, but it wasn't something that we permanently needed. I mean, we don't paint houses a ton. So it wasn't getting used. Another easy way to reduce your reoccurring spending is to look at what memberships you're a part of. Oh, yeah. So possibly, I talked about the gym, but possibly it's a gym membership that you never go to. Maybe it's too far away or it doesn't have hours that work for you. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. Surprisingly, I don't have an Amazon Prime membership. I still order from there all the time. You just have to get up to a certain dollar amount and then you can order without shipping. So to me, it's not a big deal because often stuff will sit in the cart and later I'll decide I didn't need it anyway. Right. So to me, it's actually better when I have had Prime than it's like put it in the cart, order it. Yep. And then I'm like, why did I order this? I need to go through my own spending habits list, But it's easy when you're busy, to kind of fall back into old habits. So looking at your memberships. One thing is having too many streaming memberships. Yep. How can you possibly watch so many things at the same time? Exactly. So taking a month off here and there, it's like totally fine. They let you do it. You can pause it and come back to it when you have more time to watch a show on that platform. Right. And that can really, I know it's little bits of money, But it all adds up, and
Yep.
it changes your mindset
Yes.
about easy money. I mean, easy come, easy go.
Right.
And so even if it's like $10 here, $10 there, that can turn into $100. But it also can exercise your spending habits muscle.
Yep.
And so now you stop spending this, or you started bringing coffee with you in the morning to work, or you packed your lunch, or you didn't buy, clothes really quickly all the time without really thinking about the quality of clothes and what is really going to work for your style and your
Right.
body and your budget.
Yeah, and that's just adding on to that, creating sustainable habits.
This is a great time to mention our upcoming decluttering event. In January 2024, we will be holding a 4-week Facebook event that has been designed to help you reach your minimalist goals. We will provide you with all the tools and the structure that you need to be successful. In this event, you'll receive an over 70-page workbook, a private Facebook group for connection and accountability. We'll also provide you with guidance through daily tasks, tips, prizes, and coaching. Registration is now open at our website, and we would love to have you join us. And that's a wrap for today's episode about minimalism and your finances. We hope you enjoyed this topic and found a few tips that might help you on your journey.
We want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our amazing listeners for tuning in. Your support and curiosity are what keeps us going. For more tools and resources to help you on your journey toward a simpler life, visit our website, www.123minimize.com. If you found today's episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an opportunity to explore new ideas and perspectives. And if you're inclined, leave us a review, which helps to spread the word to others who might enjoy the journey too. As always, feel free to connect with us on Facebook or Instagram to share your thoughts, suggestions, or just to say hi. Until next time, stay motivated. Take care.